Okay, good afternoon and welcome to 802 Scoop live from 185 North Main Street in Barrie. You're here with us today for Table Talk with special guest Mark Tatro in the house, going to tell us all there is to know about this amazing event that we've been advertising like crazy, pushing to everybody that we can possibly think of. Right, Jeff?
Everybody and their relatives.
Yeah, that's right. And we talk about it constant, but now you're here to give us the actual scoop.
Sure. So it's going to be August 23rd, and it's from 2 to 8:30 p.m. It's at the Nodes Farm, which is on 89 Lower Usley Road. So that's right near Hood, or Booth Brothers as people know it. In fact, it used to be the original Gordon Booth Farm. And as some people may or may not know, in April they lost their barn to a fire along with a couple of hundred animals. And there's been some decent fundraisers that have been done, but nothing that really equates to what Central Vermont and Vermont can do for people. And so a friend of mine was in my store and said, hey, you know a lot of people, you should get something going for this. And so I said, well, the Lions Club was Linda Mercy was planning a corn roast invitational for, to try to get new members for the Lions Club. I said, maybe we'll turn that into a fundraiser for the Nodes family.
Yeah.
So that evolved into what it is now.
Which is a lot.
I started this in the end of June. I hadn't even met the Nodes family until I was 3 weeks into this. Didn't know them. I just knew the story, and they have 9 kids.
Yeah.
And
bless their heart.
And those 9 kids, the youngest one was 3 weeks old when the fire happened. I'm pretty sure I saw her throwing bales the other day. Those kids work like you wouldn't believe. They work like adults.
Yeah. They're literally a family.
They're farmers. Yeah. I mean, I'd say usually it takes a generation to not be called a flatlander in Vermont. They're from Pennsylvania.
Right.
And these people earn being called a Vermonter now. They are just like the rest of us as far as the work ethic and
very nice people. I met them as well.
They're great.
Soon after it happened, I met the husband, and a couple of the kids were there then, and I believe they were also running, they were selling the eggs. The kids were selling the eggs. That was like their little business at the time. And so they lost out on that as well. Yeah,
so they want to, probably be the first thing that they do is rebuild the retail section of the barn. So that, the biggest reason they want to do retail from the farm is so that they get to know the community. Yeah. Well, they're going to get to know the community real quick. So, and just to give you a background story on these people, because this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Eric, as a young man, came to Parker Pond. A lot of people know Parker Pie. So every summer, and with his family. And so ever since he was a kid, his dream has been to earn enough money, save enough money to move from Pennsylvania to Vermont and have a farm. So he did it. And so then on top of that, he didn't realize this was a little while ago, he was going through his mother's stuff just a couple weeks ago, and he was going through his mother's stuff, and he came across a letter, or a poem that his mother's grandfather had written, and it was about the view, looking out from the hill, and he didn't even know he had this connection. So his great-grandfather standing on the field at the top of the Morrison farm, where my business is now,
Oh, wow.
looking out at the view, and wrote a poem about it. Eric says he's not much of a poet, but it was a good story. So, it's
Yeah.
so we're going to have him read that on stage as well, because that's pretty cool.
That
Yeah,
is cool.
that's pretty
And
awesome.
he's right down the road from where his grandfather wrote the poem.
Full
That's
circle.
really cool.
Yeah, full circle.
So I started making some phone calls at Lions Club instantly. Of course, was on it, and so Linda Mercy's been co-chairing it with me, and I've got, of course, the Thunder Chickens are going to get involved.
Yes, I saw that. Yep.
The Kiwanis is involved. I think we have a women's softball league involved. We can use some more help, and it seems like we're pulling in some, but
Yeah.
and they're trying to get Youth Build to do some things for it. So I ended up, fortunately, I have a lot of friends that are performers, and I was fortunate in such a short period of time they made themselves available for me. We're starting off with Dave Keller.
Yeah.
He's going to be followed by help me out here. Oh, my brain.
Donna, Shane.
No, Donna will be third.
See,
Jesus,
there's
man.
Shane, there's Jamie
Yeah,
Lee.
Jamie Lee
there's-
Thurston, thank you.
Yep,
So Jamie Lee's coming up from Tennessee special for this.
yep.
And then Shane McGrath will follow Jamie Lee. And then we got Donna Thunder after that. And then Heartless, I just got a hold of to replace John Fusco.
Yes.
Because John Fusco got approved for his next movie and had to go to Kentucky.
Yep.
And so I called Jasmine, and she was hot on it. She
Yeah.
was
She's
so
been
excited
advertising
to
it
do
like crazy too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And just a great person.
Yeah, for sure.
And so
I mean, that's
it's-
quite a lineup. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And then I talked to Rich McSheffrey, and he was just like, in 5 minutes time, he was blowing up with doing a
Oh, yeah.
new poster, and I'm going to do this. He's not even going to be here. He's gone to a concert that weekend.
Yeah.
So, but his crew's going to do beer tent,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to have the catering vehicle there with loaded tater tots. I love those. I shouldn't, but I do. So we'll have Randy Henry will be roasting pig and pork butts
Awesome.
and stuff.
The racing chef.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody does pulled pork like Randy.
Awesome.
Any event he goes to for his leftover pulled pork, I buy as much as I can, put it in the freezer so I can have it once in a while.
Yep.
He's got that down pat. And then we have some other vendors that'll be coming in for different foods and drinks and things like that. And we'll have a silent auction. We've got some really cool items. One of the coolest things that's come in is this gentleman from Barry Town carves moose antler, moose drops.
Yeah.
And he made a cribbage board out of it. He sells these things for $400.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. And he donated it for the silent auction.
That's awesome.
So, and then we got
Well, it's the saying, it takes a village, right?
Yeah.
And it literally does, and this is what's going to happen. And I've been saying for over a week now, this is like the entertainment that's here in just one day. The biggest fair in Vermont wouldn't give you what you're going to get out of this day.
Yeah.
And you're giving back at the same time. You're not just chucking it.
Yeah, yeah. This is you're given to somebody. We're doing it by donation, so there's no admission charge per se. It's by donation, because we want to have it so that if a
Anybody could
family
go.
wants to come, and if we charge $30 a person or $50 a person, actually an event like this would be, when I go to
way more.
music event, it's quite a bit. But we want it for a family can give what they can to still show their support
Right.
and be there. And we've got Rick Choquette called me,
Yep.
and he said, "Look, this is what I'm going to do for you. So I'm going to give you a couple of big bouncy houses, a dunk tank, and tents, tables, chairs, a couple generators. So I'm going to donate the use of all those. And I mean, just awesome to reach out like that. So if you know anybody that people would like to dunk, that you can get to volunteer to get in a dunk tank.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to do like a buck a piece and
Jeff, are you raising your
dunk some
hand?
people.
No, but I got a lot of people whose names I could give you who probably wouldn't want to do it, but I'd want to see them get dunked.
Well, I talked to Mayor Lozon about it, and I said, I think we could get a good line of people to dunk you. And he said, yeah, you and 1,000 other people.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, so we'll have some people in there to get dunked. And if it's a hot day, I might volunteer for that myself. So.
Right. Why not, right?
Yeah. When they had one of the groups had it at the Heritage Festival one year, and they asked me to do that. And I did have quite a line of people that were trying to dunk me. So, and a few that were successful. So.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good hot day, so I enjoyed it. So.
And we've had hot days lately.
Yeah. So one of the big questions is going to be parking. So I know there's, I'm familiar with the area. Probably fields, using some of the fields.
Yeah, so there's a field down behind where the barn used to be, and there's a sort of a road still that goes down there, and it's pretty good size. So that's probably where we'll have the bouncy houses and the parking. Now we do have some. We don't know how big this is going to be. I think it's going to be big. So
I do too.
they lease one of Pocket's fields across the road that they said we could use for that, and then the neighbor next to them said that they would dedicate 10 parking spaces there as well. So, but the field down back will hold a lot.
Yeah.
And we've also had a question about handicap parking, like is there parking that's a little closer?
So there's not a lot, but we're gonna try to have some handicap parking. Once they get filled up, we'll also, have people drop people off, and then go down and park, and so we'll try to accommodate
we need a couple
that
of golf carts up there is what we need. Anybody got a golf cart?
There's been some discussion, so Eric said we should do hayride back and forth.
Yes, Jeff was talking about
That's
that
what we were
yesterday.
talking about yesterday.
There is a issue of finding out how the insurance works on it.
Right.
So we do have that. So if we find that we can do that, that's what they're going to do, and the boys will drive tractor back and forth. And I saw two of them driving a backhoe bucket loader. And,
No kidding.
Yeah, and they were operating it like they just chores need to be done. Okay, this needs to be done next. They jumped in it, started doing it.
Yeah.
And,
Pretty amazing.
in fact, they had some beef that really good looking beefers. They were pasturing in the pasture up above my place. And so they were doing it in thirds. And these three boys dropped all the fence, pounded the stakes and everything, brought the big water tank up there, and they herded those beefers from their place up behind Bond's house, around the pond, and up through the woods to get to that field. So they didn't drive them there, they herded them there, just old-fashioned way,
Yeah, it's awesome to see, really, and especially because, family farms around Vermont in general are shutting down. You don't see as many anymore, and to have a whole family involved like that is pretty spectacular.
Maybe when John Fusco gets done with the movie he's doing, I'll make a movie out of that.
He should. He really should. Yes, Glenn, if you needed a shuttle, that's Mark was just saying that they will have people picking up and dropping off in those cases.
We'll do what we can for all that. We want as many people to be able to attend as possible. So even if that doesn't work, we'll have somebody, we have people that will take care of that.
That's awesome. And I saw that the Snow Bees said that they'll be setting up like snow fencing off
Thunder
certain
chickens.
areas. Oh, the thunder chickens.
And,
So they'll be helping setting up stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, and Vass is making a donation because the Vass Trail goes through there. So it's an important part of the Vass Trail. If that corridor were to ever get closed off, we'd have a lot of trouble getting through that section. And so it's a nice piece of the trail, and so they're going to get involved with that and help us out with a lot of that kind of stuff.
Awesome. Now, do you have community partners, businesses that have teamed up with you to help sponsor all of this?
We're trying to get more sponsors because we do have some expenses. Jamie Lee's coming up and his road crew and stuff. He's got to pay for transportation. He's got to pay some of them. I mean, they could be making a lot of money somewhere else. So he can't ask everybody to volunteer their time. So he's basically volunteering his time, not the rest of it. So we got to pay for that section. We've got to pay some for the sound guys. We've got the best sound people in the area. Ezra Mulhern.
He does the Heritage Festival.
Every band that I talk to, everyone, you got to get Ezra. You got to get Ezra and Josh. So they're doing that, and they're doing it at a very discounted rate, but they still, still got to get something for that because they've got other gigs going on that same day. So they're spreading themselves thin. So, so we have some expenses involved with it that we're trying to cover, and then we just want sponsor money to help, bring the total up to help them out.
Sure.
But we have had some pretty generous ones. Formula Ford gave a huge donation. We got a donation from Kia. Black Ink has given a donation. I had one individual and told me not to bother promoting his name, but he gave $10,000.
Wow.
And so there's been some outreach, and then we got some 150s and 200s from individuals, and that's why I say that's why I want to do it by donation, because some people, there are some people that can afford to give like that,
Right.
and there's some people that just want to come and show the support that can't, and
Right.
we don't want to exclude them. We want everybody. We want this to be a community thing, and we want to show the nodes, what
And
Vermont's
I think,
really
that's
all
what the
about.
nodes would want too,
Yeah.
because that's how they are. They're very down to earth. They're just really nice people, and so they would want that too. They would want everybody to be able
I'm
to
sure
come
if that happened to somebody else, they'd be right
Oh,
jumping in.
absolutely.
And with 9 kids,
And-
if you're a family and you want to go somewhere,
Yeah.
you certainly aren't going to go and pay $30 a person. And so, and you want this to be about everybody.
So I don't want to commit myself, but you see I changed the name to Berry Farm Fest,
Yeah.
and subtitled Nodes Family Farm Fundraiser.
Yes.
Reason for that is, in talking with Eric and talking with some of the bands, they're like, we should make this an annual thing and give to a different need every year. And that'd be great. I mean, if I can put this together, or I should say, can put this together in a month and a half.
What can you
just
plan
think,
What
in
could we
a
do
year?
in a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What could you plan in a year?
Yeah, because there's
Absolutely.
plenty of people that say, I wish I could be there. I wish I could, plan on it. There's a lot going on that time of year. And so if you can plan them ahead, then you can really do well with that kind of stuff.
It's like Raylene said too, the talent you're going to be seeing on that stage, you'd be spending a hell of a lot more at the Champlain Valley Fair.
Oh, geez, yeah.
This is just awesome.
Yeah. And like I said, last year there was one show I wanted to go to, and the tickets were $78 a piece.
Yeah, I mean, that's
To
typical
see
now.
one show at the fair.
And that
with-
doesn't include your parking either.
No.
Yeah, parking's another
Or
$70,
anything,
yeah.
So it's just that alone is insane, and truly, like I have not seen that many artists in one spot since Sturgis.
Yeah,
I don't know where you go to find that many in one spot in one day.
I'm blessed that for some reason people like me and look to me to help out, and that I have a group behind me like the Lions Club, and
Absolutely.
all these people are, I mean, I had a gentleman say, if you're supporting them this much, they must be great people. And so it's like, I mean, I just kind of try to be a catalyst for these things. My mind doesn't ever stop working, and so just popped in my head, and I called friends, and can you come?
Yeah.
And so they're all receptive to that, and sure. I mean,
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome day for sure. And now, one of the questions that I had gotten earlier, if you are somebody that you are bringing the kids, but it's an all-day thing, and if you want to run them home, leave them with a sitter if they start getting tired, and come
sure.
back and enjoy. Can you go in and out? Is there
Absolutely.
bands, bracelets, stamp? Is there something that is going to?
because it's by donation, we're not going to bother doing that kind of thing. So,
Okay.
you know, it's by donation. So, yeah, and absolutely. So, you know, if you want to come at 2 o'clock for Dave, and you want to come back for Donna, or you want to come when Jamie's there and come back for Harold, whatever, you know, obviously, you know, we all got a lot going on. If you can come for 5 minutes and drop a donation and say hi to people, that's cool too. you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And whatever you can do. I mean, a lot of people are already planning on, you know, bring your chairs, because you want a place to sit and stuff. Bring your chairs. Hopefully, most of the time they'll be standing up dancing. But I'll
Sitting
pretend
down
to
having
dance.
some pulled pork.
Yeah, sitting around having pulled pork.
So bring your chairs. You can't bring coolers, no glass, no pets. Obviously, it's a farm with other animals and stuff, and so they want to contend with, you know, interaction of pets that they don't know. So
Yeah.
can't have pets, can't have coolers, because we don't want to regulate the drinking and stuff that might happen that way. It's too hard if people are bringing in their own. But we'll have, you know, Rich will be there with, you know, Cornerstone will be there with the beer tent, so you can certainly enjoy yourself, and whichever way you like to enjoy yourself.
Right, and every bit that you spend that day, everything that you do, I mean, this family is going to benefit from it.
Yeah, and another thing that's going on, so we have another Lions group from South Royalton area, and if you've ever been to the Tunbridge Fair, right in front of the beer hall there's a Wheel of Fortune, and that's run by that Lions Club.
Yep.
And they have a ball with that, and people really love it, so they're bringing that up to this event.
Cool.
And we're going to do it with quarters instead of 50-cent pieces, because they said, you know, a lot of times people just want to collect the 50-cent pieces. So,
Right. Right.
So they just play a little bit and then they'll move on. So the quarters will be a little bit more fun to do and keep people active with it. So
That's neat.
I stop at it every year. You know, we have a group that goes to Tunbridge Fair, and we stop there every year and spend some time there, and it's kind of fun. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. And you spoke a little bit about the silent auction. Any other items that you could mention?
So we've got a mug that was made, travel mug, steel one that was made just for the event, has lasered engravings on it, and that's from my cousin, actually, Tanya, from Maine. And she also did some of the stone coasters with the theme on it. We've got 2 cords of wood. We've got 2 hours of forestry consultation. And I think there's some other stuff that's not popping in the top of my head right now, but and then there's more stuff coming in from Kiwanis. Paula's volunteered to be the chair of the silent auction, so she's kind of handling what's coming in on that, and I think she's big into the women's softball. I think she's asking them to help us find some items for that and help out with that.
So anybody that's listening, if anybody has anything that they want to contribute for that, please reach out to Mark. And if anybody wants to sponsor the event, you're also still looking for sponsors.
Yeah, definitely
and
need
you're
more
also
sponsors.
looking for more volunteers to help probably set up, break down all of the in-betweens, monitoring what's happening, parking, this, that, and the other.
We're gonna set up on Friday afternoon, and so we have to put the tents up that Rick is donating, and so we need people to help put those tents up. Thunder Chickens will be doing the snow fence, just marking things out, and then we'll be doing it again Saturday morning. We'll be doing some setup, and of course Sunday we'll be cleaning up. And I'll be there all day, each one of those days.
Yeah. And Monday, you're going to just sleep.
Monday I'll be back at work.
Back at work.
I knew you were going to say that. That was
Taking Friday off, that's pushing the limit.
Right,
so.
that's pushing the limit right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking it off tonight. And let's give the Lions Club a plug. All that they do here in the city, but just all over in your group there.
I'm so blessed to be part of the Lions Club. When I first bought my business from Lawrence Hughes back in '97, all the groups were approaching me to join them, and all great, worthy groups. And I visited them all, and John was a lion, and he had taken me to a Lions luncheon. They were doing a buck auction, and where they raffle off auction off hunters, and it was just so much fun. I said, these guys have a lot of fun, and so I joined the Lions Club, and I've been a member for over 20 years, and been King Lion a number of times, and just really enjoyed everything we do. I mean, if it isn't fun, we don't do it. We do a lot of things that'll bring tears to your eyes. It's so heartwarming, and it's just great to be a part of that. Yeah.
And we don't see a lot of it. A lot of people don't even know half of what you all do. We don't see a lot of it. It's not like it's out there in the public constant. You're not pushing it, and not very few know a lot about what you do unless you know a lion and they've said this or that. A lot of people don't know what you all do.
So our
which
main
is huge.
our main focus is sight and hearing. Back when the Lions Club started, there was a business group in Chicago, Melvin Jones ran, and that is now our highest award you can get is the Melvin Jones Award. And so she challenged us to be the Knights of the Blind and Deaf. And so they took that role on 100 years ago. Barrie Club's been in operation for over 80 of that, and very active. And so we do things like we have a vision scope where we check the eyes, check vision for students, and all the way from preschool on up through, and then we refer them to the eye doctors if they have a problem. So we found this girl was like 4, I think. She had an ocular tumor, and had we not found that, and she got referred to the eye doctor who sent her to Boston, they operated on it, and she's fine. And had we not found that, she would have gone blind because there was no symptoms for it. She's just little. She can't tell people something's weird, with her vision and stuff. So, just things like that. We bought a machine for the hospital to test for infant deafness, and so each child now is tested for that. And so we had a family come and talk to us that their son was like 5 or 6, so when he had a hearing problem that could have been cured if they caught it when he was born. His little sister was born right after we gave this machine to the hospital, and they caught it, and she's fine because they were able to take care of it at that time.
Right away.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
It's awesome.
I could tell you 1,000 different stories that we give away Christmas trees. We sell Christmas trees every year, and then we have people that donate them, and then we deliver them to people. And one of my favorite stories ever is I went up to a house and I was thinking, this is kind of like a very nice house. Why, you never know somebody's situation why they need a Christmas tree. Well, so I get there and I said, someone told us that you could use a Christmas tree this year. And she said, oh, we were going to go without one, she said, because we just got here and my husband's in the guard and he's not going to get a check for a couple of months because of the way it works. And I haven't started work yet. She was a teacher and it was, she hadn't started work yet. And so we're going to give up a Christmas tree. And her little boy was standing behind her, and I said, "Oh, that's cool. So you'll have one now." So I take the tree out of my truck and I go up and I put it beside the porch. And this little boy comes out and he wraps himself around my legs, and she just starts bawling. I mean, I said, you're welcome. And I was getting a little like, what's going on here? And she said, you don't understand. He's autistic. He doesn't touch people.
Well,
then I was like, here's a tree, so I get back to my truck before the tears started rolling out of my eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Just things like that. You never know what's going on with somebody. If you could help somebody a little bit, it's worth it.
Yeah,
And,
little conversations are sometimes the most important ones you're ever going to have. Little tiny ones like that.
That's what I love about Barrie. I mean, if you're on the Barrie residence chat and things like that, sometimes you'll see people asking for a meal or
Yeah.
asking for a ride. And I see people on there that don't have much. Just, I'll do it. I'll help you. I'll help you. So,
Yeah.
you can see the bad in any community where you want to see it.
Yeah.
But nobody comes together like this community.
I don't think so.
No. I mean,
really
look what
don't.
we did for each other. Strangers came out for the flood and stuff.
Yeah.
We used my place as a center for all the Lions clubs to distribute flood relief stuff. So we had like cases and cases of water after the,
Yeah.
my whole loading dock was full
Yeah.
of water after the first flood. And there was a young couple that live in the mobile home park in Williamstown, and they were bringing a trailer and getting water for the whole neighborhood
Yeah.
and bringing it to people because a lot of those people couldn't go get
Danielle.
it themselves.
Yeah, Danielle,
Yeah.
they did a great job.
Yeah, just the nicest people, and
Yeah.
so there's plenty of people like that out there, that
course,
just
yeah.
do for people,
Yeah.
And,
Agreed. Well, hopefully, we'll see a lot of people come out
yeah.
for
I
this
think it's
event.
gonna be packed.
I think,
really
yeah, I
do.
think it's
Yeah.
going to be bigger than most people think or even imagine, and because I think people from all over are going to come. Really, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I've talked to people when I was in Groton last week at the store that knew about it, and they plan to come down.
Yeah.
So they live in Reigate, and they plan to be down. And at least participate for a little bit. And they have a farm. They have a family farm, and
Yeah.
it means the world to them that somebody is working so hard to make another farm survive, but to also put this family back together, because it really is. It's their livelihood. It's what they do. It's what they wanted to do.
Yeah, yeah. And everybody, a lot of people have been in a situation where, you're building your dream, and then something like that just comes and crushes your spirits.
Yeah.
And so this will help to lift those spirits back up.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I grew up in a little town in Vermont, Wolcott, or if you're from there, you call it Wolcott.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
Wolcott.
but if a barn burned down or something like that, the whole community would show up.
Yeah.
And I don't care what age they were, you would do whatever you could. People would bring food, and there'd be tables of food and stuff, and refreshments, and everybody that could carry a nail would carry a nail, or pound a nail would pound a nail. And in one day, you'd throw up a big barn.
Yeah.
And they'd be back in
Yeah.
business. And, you didn't even ask. It was just like somebody said, okay, we're going to do the barn raising on Saturday. Boom, everybody was there, And, there were probably 800 people in that town, and you'd see 200 of them show up
Yeah.
to do that.
Probably like the wives and the
Yeah.
other ladies would bring food and
Yeah.
just
Yeah. It's I mean, I say that all the time, and people laugh at me, but I really think it's true that I would love to go backwards in so many ways. It's not funny. Like, if I could step back in time and push everybody backwards, I totally would, because I think that we're in a spot now where we're never going to go forward until we do a little bit. But there was a time when, if the barn was burning next door, everybody would have gone running. Now they go to the keyboard. So-and-so's barn's burning. This is
Yeah.
happening. That's happening. Run outdoors. See what you can do. Help try to put it out. People don't line up with buckets anymore, right?
Right.
And not as many people come out and help until the call comes for help. Things just used to be so different that way.
Yeah, the social interaction is getting lost because we're all
really
interacting
is.
with each other on the internet and social media. So it's nice to have things like this where we can get together, because we don't have town meeting anymore, things like that.
Right.
And so it's nice to have things where we get together.
So town meeting, that is for me, that's why I started doing the hot dogs up at the auditorium. Anytime we're voting for
Yeah.
anything, school, city, state, whatever the elections are, I started doing that because people come up, they get the free hot dog. I just do this. And they get the free hot dog, the chips, the water, and they stand around and talk. They pull up a chair and talk. And before you know it, it's kind of like an old town meeting day where people are actually talking to a neighbor that they haven't necessarily met, even though they live 2 or 3 houses away. They've never spoke before. They don't know each other, how they And when we start talking about neighborhood watches and things like that, all of it's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important to know.
But I'll tell you, so when I was considering where we were going to plan ourselves, my wife's from this town and grew up here, and my opinion of Barrie back then was it's a small town attitude with conveniences of a small city. And so it's perfect, you know. And so when my daughter was young, she'd come up here from East Long Meadow, Massachusetts, and nobody knows anybody around there. You know, you don't know your neighbors and stuff. And we're going around town, and people are driving by and waving. We're going into Lenny's and wherever, and everybody's talking to me, and we're all waving to each other. And she's like, "You can't possibly know all these people." I said, "Yeah, we all know each other."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it is a small community.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people come into this community and they find that out right off. We just got new neighbors next door to us, and they're not from around here. They're from Massachusetts, and they're just loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just short time they've been here, they've had all these interactions with people. And,
Small but mighty.
yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, just go to any event that's going on at like the auditorium,
Yeah.
and you walk around and somebody will bump, Mark Tatro?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of neat. You know,
It
like
is.
at the
It is.
basketball tournaments.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
you know, you got people coming from all over the state to see these teams play, but, you know, and you got all these people, like, you know, there's a lot of people from the Lions Club that volunteer time there, the Rotary, the Kiwanis, and it's nice because people come from out of town, and then they'll start talking to somebody from Barrie, and then they're realizing Barrie's not what a lot of people make it out to be, this drug-infested problem. There's some really nice people in Barrie, you know?
Yeah.
There's one right there.
Yeah.
Well,
We've
look
got a
at
lot
the
of good.
folks who just opened up the Barrie Social Club.
Yeah.
Now they've traveled and lived all over the country, and they did their homework before they decided to move here and decided this was the place that they wanted to set down roots. And that's a beautiful place now.
Yeah.
You know, and they're doing a lot in the community. You know, it's still there. You know,
Yeah.
and we just need to get events like this. You know, the Heritage Festival and things, and the concerts in the park. You know, that's just great. You
That's
know.
been
Right.
really
Tracy
great.
does an awesome job with that.
Yeah.
We can't lose sight of what's important for
and,
sure.
And so, you know, you got to have more things like that so we can say, you know, oh yeah, you live over here, you know, and meet your neighbors,
Yeah.
talk to your neighbors, and your neighbors aren't just in Barrie. I mean, my
Yeah.
company, I travel all over, you
Yeah.
know, the place, and you know, your neighbors
Washington
are
County.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in Shelburne. Those are my neighbors. I'm in Waitsfield. Those are my neighbors. Lincoln Gap. You know, wherever it's Stowe. You know, those are all neighbors, and those are all, you know, people that you make friends with, and you find out you learn some interesting things. The more
Yeah.
people you know, and the more people you interact with.
Yeah, for sure.
And you don't get all this angry attitude that you're having online because somebody thinks different than you about politics or religion. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, and really in the end, none of that matters.
no, it's just,
No.
you can have differences of opinion, but when you're face to face with somebody, you can feel
Yep.
the person's real warmth or attitude and stuff, and it's not just about something like that.
I'd love
So,
to go backwards as far as that goes too. When I was growing up, when I was a kid, I had no idea if my parents were Republican, Democrat, didn't know who they were voting for or what the hell they were doing. It was none of my business, none of my concern. My concern was being in the house when the lights came on.
Yeah. Well,
That was my concern.
yeah, we have a lot of. I mean, I like my gadgets. I like my toys. You know, so I just got an e-bike yesterday. You know, so we got a lot of advantages today, but we need to like kind of get back to the social part again. You know,
Right.
the
And that's like
family
what the,
home and-
you know, concerts in the park and that's what that's developed into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah,
What are
they've
you
got
doing this afternoon?
Well, this evening I'm probably going to go to the concert in the park.
There you go. Me too.
They got a great band
Because
there.
it's not going to rain. It's not going to rain. It's not going to rain. I keep saying that.
And you know, most of the time we end up mowing our lawn on Wednesday night. So this is gonna, you know, we've got a little reprieve because the grass didn't grow as much with this heat. So you know,
Right.
can
And
wait
you
till
don't wanna
this
burn it.
weekend. Yeah. So now I'm going back to work this afternoon. And make some people happy and get their appliances going again, and
Right. All repair stuff this week.
repair, sales. Yeah, I don't do deliveries much anymore. I do a lot of the kitchen renovations myself, and do a lot of the sealed system stuff. Now I'm doing the part of the business I enjoy the most. Sitting in my office is not one of them.
Right. No, I
But
can't imagine that.
I've got a great office staff, so I don't have to do it a whole lot. You know.
No, that's great that you can step out and do that, and hopefully, I'll be at the park tonight too. Hopefully, it doesn't rain and we all get to do that. I'll actually be there with Circle.
Oh, nice.
So
Another great
we have a
group.
table there tonight, so I'll be there with Circle tonight.
Yeah.
And I sit on the board with them, and something that's very near and dear to my heart. So.
Yeah, and I don't think they're as well known as they should be.
No,
I mean,
they're
obviously, you
definitely
don't
not.
want the locations known, but what they do, what's available to
is
people,
huge.
people need to know that's there for them.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
And,
So we're gonna be talking to.
they're my good customers, so you know, I know about it.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't see a lot of
We're
exposure
gonna
on
change
that.
that. We're gonna start doing a lot more, stuff in here and talking about who they are, what they do, how they do it, why they do it. We're start doing a lot more of that because I agree. It's
Yeah,
something that in funding is scary.
Yeah, it
just
helps
like
to
it is for
have
anybody.
things like that for a safe community.
Yes, it does, for sure.
And so that's it's nice that we have a few things like that. And they
Yeah,
just need
Our
to,
House, Circle. Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a lot of those things here, for sure. So,
Yeah,
so one more time before we go, let's say the 23rd.
23rd.
What time to what time?
2 o'clock to 8:30,
2 to 8:30.
and there's a noise ordinance in Barry Town, so we want to respect that. We want to respect all the neighbors, even though they'll all be there. We want to keep within the lines, and so we'll do that.
Right, because you want to do this again.
Yeah, it's on 89 Lower Usley Road. So if you go up Bridge Street from Route 14, you can get there. If you go down Morrison Road from Pocket, so it's the same road, they just changed names halfway through. You can get there. Allen Street
Yeah,
merges onto that road. There's plenty of ways to get there.
yeah.
And the roads to Prospect and
Prospect,
Berlin
the
Street should
airport
be all
road.
done by
Yeah.
then. So
They're
it's
paving today.
Yeah.
Yep, you can come off by the airport and come down Prospect that way and get onto Morrison.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people will be coming off the interstate and coming that way.
Yeah.
Great thing is we have Google now, so you can just put the address in and
Right,
get there.
put it in and it'll tell you where to go.
And,
And no coolers,
no coolers,
no pets.
no pets, and no glass.
And bring your chairs.
Bring your chairs. Yeah, definitely bring your chairs and hang out, stay a while, talk with your neighbors,
That's
dance a little.
Admission by donation.
Yes, for a whole lot of entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dave Keller.
Dave Keller, Jamie Lee Thurston, Shane McGrath, Donna Thunder, and Heartless.
Yeah.
And Donna Thunder wrote a song just for this.
I'm not
Just
surprised by that one bit.
She's such a hoot.
She writes some really cool ditties
Yeah.
and songs. She really does. She does a great job.
So she's
brings
the
a crowd.
first one that I called,
Yeah.
and because I've known Donna for a long time, and she's just got a heart of gold. And
Yes, she does.
She does so many things already.
Yes.
But I called and I said, "What date are you available?" And so she looked at her calendar over and she said, "I think I could do August 23rd." Boom, that's when we're doing it.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
I plan the rest of everybody else around that.
And they do so much from the heart. She does a lot for the community when it comes to donating her time and doing things. I mean, she's incredible.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
And
Love her to death.
She's just, you can't help. She'll have you laughing when she's on stage. She'll entertain you, and the music is great. It's
Yes.
incredible,
Yes.
and she's putting up they got donated. Mr. Roy passed away, and used to play drums with them and a few other bands around, and so they're putting the house drum set up with his drum set.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. Well, can you think of anything else we might want to tell everybody before we wrap it up?
You know, the only thing I want to say is that you can complain about your community a lot. Do something to make it better. Don't complain. Say, what can I do to make it better? And being part of a community, I mean, it's our home, right? Make it your home, you know? I don't think you'll find anybody that has more friends than me, and I'm a transplant from Wolcott.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's just do stuff for people.
Yeah.
You know, and
Were you a regular at the Ugly Daughters furniture sale at Buck's Furniture?
Oh, Sandy and I are still friends today.
There you go.
Everybody growing up used to call Floyd Buck Uncle Floyd, because he did everything for. He basically built and bought the fire department there.
Yeah.
And so I worked there when I was a kid, and they used to ask, the salesman would always ask everybody, what brought you here, if they came from out of town, you know. And so this old farm couple came from like Bennington area, and this guy walks in, and Roy says to him, so what brought you all the way from Bennington to Wolcott to buy furniture? And he goes, sure as hell wasn't that crazy lady on the radio. He said some expletives instead, right? So Sandy's sitting right there. It's like, we were all dying laughing. But in reality, those commercials are what brought him there.
Of course.
And,
of course.
yeah, and Sandy is Sandy Howard now, and she's just an awesome person. We're still friends. And,
Yeah. It's a neat little town. Most of my family is from that area, Hardwick, Morrisville,
Yeah.
Wolcott. That's where they're from.
Yeah.
And so growing up, that's where I spent most of my time. Even though we lived here, that's where I spent.
We all wanted to get
majority
out
of
of
my
there
time.
as much as we could when we were little, because there was nothing going on there.
Right.
And now I realize I had the Norman Rockwell way of life, you know, walk out my door, go fishing, go hunting, you know.
Yeah.
Walk to school with my friends, and, you know, it's like, geez, if I could afford to, I'd still live there, but, you know, it's too far to work, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, wish everybody a very good day. If you can, come out to the park tonight. Enjoy the concert, the farmers market, which is always packed full of some pretty amazing stuff. Stop by, say hi to everyone. Stop by the tables. A lot of community information at these tables. For sure, stop by those. And I want to say one more time definitely not one more time. You're going to hear me talk about this ad nauseum probably, but the 31st of August, we will be having the first annual overdose awareness vigil at City Hall Park. And I've been involved with the one in White River Junction for several years now, and have always wanted to have one here. And we're going to do that. The Turning Point Center is having that, and I'm helping out with that. And it's yes, it's going to bring great awareness, but it is literally, for a lot of people, the only way they memorialize the person that they've lost. A lot of times there aren't funds for funeral, a wake, obituaries, those sorts of things. Literally, for a lot of parents, a lot of loved ones, this is it on the 31st, and it means the world to them. And if you are somebody that has lost someone to an overdose, lost someone to addiction, please reach out if you want them memorialized, and let me know their name and where they're from and what their age was, and we'll make sure that they're included in that night. And come out. There will be a lot of information there. Joe Aldsworth will be there from the fire department. I think they're going to be doing a Narcan demonstration. There's going to be some people speaking. Chief Vale, who is also very involved in the one down in White River Junction when he was with the Hartford Police Department. He was actually kind of like spearheaded a lot of it when it first started down there. He's going to be with us. He'll be speaking. A lot of community partners participating. And then we'll have also people that are in recovery, that have recovered, speaking as well. before the actual lighting of the candles ceremony. And as they light the candles, the names of those lost will be read. And so 802 Scoop, it will be there, will be live for people that can't attend in person. And we're going to provide the sound and whatever they need for equipment. So we're going to do that night. And it's something that I'm very proud to be involved in, and something that is very close to my heart. Being a mom of an addict, it's always the worry. It's always something that I'm petrified of. And but it's a part of the community that I truly think we also need a lot of help in and understanding in. So I invite you all to participate in that as well. The 31st, right here at City Hall Park, 5:30 to 8 p.m. And until tomorrow, Jeff and I will be back tomorrow at noon, right? Are we coming in tomorrow?
Yeah.
We're coming in tomorrow at noon.
Yep.
Right? We're going to do it.
That's what we said, yeah.
Yeah. And then Michael and I will be here tomorrow night. And tonight, Wednesday, you can go ahead and check out the girls, Lori Shepherd, 4 Quarters. They will be here talking all about sports. And I'm sure by tomorrow, noon, we'll have all kinds of updates about Granite City Blast and what those kids are doing.
They lost their first game last night.
They did.
Yep.
Yeah.
12-0.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Still getting their feet wet.
well, this is huge. There's teams from all across the United States, and
Yeah.
they're in a bracket with teams from New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Maine, Connecticut. But still, I watched the game last night, and these kids that they were playing looked a lot bigger than our boys. But, it's a good learning experience for them. It's really cool because the opening ceremony was like the Olympics. They announce each team and they march through, and there's multiple fields there. There's like over 20 fields in this place in Cooperstown, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But,
Awesome experience for them that they worked very hard to.
It's not
to
about
get there.
winning and losing
Yeah.
there. It's
Yeah.
You're meeting a lot of different kids, and
Yeah.
and
you
you're
got
playing
a bunch
ball.
Of future Lions there.
Yeah.
In that group.
Actually, one of them is Mo Fortier's grandson, who
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
did the youth sports award for, and so we give money for people to be able to get free time up at the auditorium
Yeah.
in Mo's
Yeah,
name.
no, I remember it. Yeah, that's
and
right.
So his grandson's on that team.
Just
Mo was
another
a
thing that you all do.
Longtime member of the Berry Tournament Committee.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in. And if there's anything else that we can, push out there, talk about prior to, just give a holler.
All right.
You can run down here again. You're welcome to jump on the mics whenever you want. But we know you're busy. So if you can't, just shoot a text, email, call, whatever, and we'll make sure to push that out. Any last minute stuff. Absolutely. We'll support in any way that we can.
Yeah, I just appreciate you getting the word out, because we want to have as many people to be able to come out and support this kind of thing as possible. And
Yeah.
So in doing it, they're supporting each other too. So it's just a feel-good event and a really fun event.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, take care. Stay cool. Have a good day. And if you see it lightning, hear it thunder, all that good stuff, get inside.
Yeah. Get out of the pool.
Yeah, get out of the pool. And don't be holding on to tent poles.
Right.
Yeah. Have a great day, everyone.